Hello, this is John. This is my midterm for CSI 248. So when choosing a theme for a project with as much freedom as this one, I like to go with what I enjoy, as well as things that we have recently learned in class. And at the top of my head, I thought about filtering, mapping, images, drop lists. The first thing that came to my mind was creating a champion select screen, such as this one. Name of your champion, as well as a corresponding image. You have a navigation bar and a lock-in button. Because I thought I would be able to handle all of the champions the same way that we were in CSI 244, a list of albums of like 200, so I thought it would be possible for me to do the same, like an API that already had all the data, like maybe quotes, names, voice lines, lane, role. Yeah, I could not find an API that could actually deliver on that. I had to hard code a champion list here that has just the original 17, like season 1 alpha beta champ pool. And you can see here each one of them have an ID based on when they were released, their lane, their name, their role, and a quote. Going on to the basic functions of my project, we have our main screen. We're going to choose a lane. Let's say we choose top, and nothing updates until we hit search lane. If we want to also choose a role with that, we can also choose a role. You see that my list didn't exactly narrow how many choices we got, but actually expanded it. With only 17 champions, there really isn't a reason to not explore all 17 and to just narrow it to 2. Now let's see what happens when we click on, let's say, Alistar. The name of the champion, the original splash art of Alistar. This is personally my favorite quote. Lock-in button, which also functions as a go back to home. Once a bandle gunner, always a bandle gunner. Here, I actually discovered a lot of things I struggled with, was comfortable with. Hard coding my list. I have 5 hard coded champion lists. I could not figure out how to pass the champion list. I also have use states of champions we are going to filter out once we choose a lane or a role, chosen roles. And we have our routers. Change the page when we are choosing a champion and then when we are choosing to log in. We have a filter champions, which says we're going to take in this champion list. If we do not have anything selected for lane, then it's going to stay as champion list. If we don't have anything selected for role, just keep it as champion list. And if either one of these are chosen, then we will actually change the champion list and then turn it into the filtered champion list as we see here. Let's look at our routes. At the top, we are going to have our 2 filters, which take in the prop set lane, which means when we pass set lane, oh wow. We have the basic HTML that says choose lane, have the drop down list of these values, and then blank as the initial value, and search role, which when clicked will go to filter lane. Variable filtered lane, which filters the lane based on what we choose from here. We are going to set it to prop, which will then be sent here. Lane will be passed through champion list item, which is our display right over here. Same thing goes for filter role, so I don't really need to go through that one. Going through champion list item, which takes in a lane and a role. A simple map of the name as well as clickable link, which will bring you to details based on the ID of the champion, and then the ID of the champion again was based on the release of the champion. Now details, quite a mess, similar to the way I did my champions list. I had to import every single one of these images instead of just the image folder. I do not know why it didn't work, that the second I added in the champion name, it worked. That's exactly what I did. The URL is quite literally the champion name JPEG. Because I could not grab it using the names, I had to put it into a variable called URL and then pass that, and now it functions. Would show you, I don't want to. We also have the link to homepage, which is embedded into the lock-in button image, and quote, and then lock-in button. In my opinion, very necessary fifth component was the header. Simply says League of Legends Champion Select. And then my CSS, and I'm using Marcellus, change the font of everything, and then center it. That's how I went about building my project. It was actually more difficult than I thought it would be, working with images, the champion list, figuring out exactly how to pass the props, and yeah. Thank you. See ya. Peace. Bye.